All right, second grade, this is lesson 6 of this week's math lessons. I think you're going to be very excited because now we're going to move away from bar graphs for a second and we're going to start, talking about money. And I know you guys love money and you like to play with it all the time at indoor recess. So we're going to learn how to count money and work more on what each coin value is and things like that. We've worked a little on this on morning work, but this will get us way more into it, dive down deeper, and we'll be able to count money, which is cool. First thing I want you to do, grab a blank piece of paper, just something you can take notes on, and draw this on your paper. Put 50 cents in 2 lines, and then a bunch of lines underneath each one. So just take a second and do that. Pause the video too if you need to. What I'm challenging you to do is how can we break 50 cents apart? How many ways? That's kind of confusing sounding, so let me give you an example. I know that 50 cents breaks into 2 quarters. So I'm going to put 1 quarter here and 1 quarter here. I also know that 50 cents breaks into 2 quarters, and I could put the value of the quarters. So I'm going to put 25 cents here and 25 cents here. All right, I want you guys to keep going. How many ways can you think of 50 cents breaking apart? All right, if you pause the video, which I hope you did, and if you haven't, pause it now and go ahead and try. Let's go over some answers. I know 50 cents could be 0 cents and 50 cents, right? A 50 cents piece. I know that I could have 40 cents and 10 cents. I know that I could have 30 cents and 20 cents. See how we're just breaking apart 50 cents? 30 plus 20 is 50. 40 plus 10 is 50. 0 plus 50 is 50. I know that I can have 4 dimes because that's 40 cents and 1 dime because that's 10 cents and that would make 50 cents. I know that I could have, ooh, this one's fun, 5 nickels and 5 nickels. Because 1 nickel equals 5 cents, and if I have 5, that's 25. Okay? So if you knew how to do just a few of these, you're on the right track. If you knew how to do these, you're pretty advanced, and you're going to have a really easy time with this lesson, okay? Either way, you're going to be fine because we're just going to work through some of this money talk. Okay. So let's count some money. I know you guys are excited to do that. I got a bag of their fake change here. You can always go and scrounge around for some coins maybe. Mom's purse, please ask first. Dad's wallet, go check under the couch. You're going to find some change. Okay, so let's just talk about the value real quick of these coins. Okay, the brown one, we all know, is the penny. And it's how many cents? 1. Next up is this guy, this silver guy with that funny face. He's like medium-sized. This is the nickel. And it's how many cents? 5. Next up, it gets smaller. This is our, you see his face? Tiny little guy in comparison to the nickel. And this is a dime, and it's 10 cents. And then if we want to keep going, we have, of course, the quarter. Okay, it's the biggest one, and it's worth 25 cents. All right, so we need to figure out what's the value of 3 nickels. So I'm going to look at my coins. I'm going to pick up my nickel again, this guy, and think how much is a nickel worth? 5 cents. And I said, what's the value of 3 nickels? So what are we going to write over? What's our repeated addition sentence? There's a phrase you've heard. 5 plus 5 plus 5. Because there's our 3 nickels. And what does that equal, kids? Take a second. 15. So the value of 3 nickels is 15 cents. That's what a lot of your work is going to be today, is that you're just going to see pictures of coins on your problem set, and you have to add them up essentially. So what I would do before you start working on that problem set is I would take a pencil or a pen, hold on, or a marker, whatever you want to use, and I would take a look at your pictures, okay? So the first one, and they get tricky because they have the front side and the back side. So they don't always have the front side. So for number 1, I see that there's 1 nickel, 1 penny, 1 penny, 1 penny. So there's 3 pennies and 1 nickel. Why don't you write the value of the numbers on the coins like this, okay? And then you can add them together easier. So I know I have 5 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. And that equals 8 cents. So that's the first one that you're going to do in your problem set. Like I said, they get tricky because they're putting the fronts and the backs of the coins, so you have to be familiar with both. And it does that on the back side as well. Now one thing it's going to trip you up on is that sometimes this will equal over $1. So how do we know how to write that? Well, first thing we have to know is how many pennies, how many of these little 1 centers, these brown ones, are in $1. The answer, $1. See how I put 1 period 0 0? That equals 100 cents. Okay, that's very, very, very important to know. Here, let me make that thicker. So $1 equals 100 pennies. So when you are totaling up all of these coins, if you get over 100, you're going to have to write it like this. Let's take a look at, trying to see which one. Let's look at 14 on your problem set, number 14, okay? So I see that we have a nickel, a dime, quite a few dimes, some nickels, some. You got to really look and make sure that you're not writing pennies and make sure they're nickels, because I almost did that. Okay? Now I've written all the values on my coins, so that'll help me a lot. I'm going to add up all of these coins. So I know 25 plus 25, and you're going to have to do a little bit at a time, right? You can't just add all these together. So let's start with our biggest coins, which is our quarters. So 25 plus 25, that is 50, okay? I'm going to add all of my dimes together. There's 3 of them. You can do this a couple different ways. You can write 10 plus 10 plus 10, or what is 10 plus 10 plus 10? Smarty pants out there, counting by 10. That's 30. So let's add 50 plus 30. And that gets us 80. And then we have 3 nickels. Now again, you can write 5 plus 5 plus 5 and add it up. Or if you know, counting by 5, what 5 plus 5 plus 5 is, that is 5, 10, 15. So let's add 15. 0 plus 5 is 5. 8 plus 1 is 9. So for 14, you get 95 cents. So that one did not add up past $1, which is okay. Okay? So you might need to use a scrap piece of paper so you can do your addition, okay? Please don't use calculators because we weren't using calculators in class, and I want to make sure the scholars are still using their brains to do addition. But anytime, let's look on, trying to find one, guys. Hold on. 75, 80. Ooh, I know. Okay, so look on number 1 on your exit ticket. I'll help you with your exit ticket. Number 1 on your exit ticket. We have 1, 2, 3 quarters. So I'm going to write 25 on my quarters like this. Then we have a dime. And then I see 1 nickel and 2 pennies. All right. Same thing. I want you just to add those up and see what you get. I would add all the quarters first, so 25 times 3, not times, 25 plus 25 plus 25 is how many? 75 cents. Then add your dime. You almost could do this mentally, guys. We were doing bigger numbers mentally before. And add your dime, it's going to be 85 plus 5, 6, 7. That answer is going to be 97 cents. So we still haven't found any that are over $1. You guys let me know. If you find some over $1, then you would have to write it like this. You're not going to ever, ever, ever write it as 115 cents. Okay? 115 cents is the same as $1.15. And you don't put the cents over here. Okay? So never write it as 115 cents. It's $1.15. And I'm sure your parents, when they check your work, will catch that as well. All right. So that's your lesson 6. And your homework's very similar. Let me know if you guys have any questions. See ya.